And we are rolling here. Okay, in this stream, what I'm going to be talking about is, can meditation help you to build self-confidence? And actually, the answer to that is yes, a very resounding yes. If you practice meditation long enough, you will start to feel like you are more empowered in your life. Once you have been working on meditation, you learn a few skills. These skills that you don't get them immediately. You have to develop them over time. But over a period of, let's say, if you're focusing on daily growth through daily meditation, after you've given it like maybe 6 months, a year, you will start to notice some changes in your life, and you will just to start to feel a lot more confident, a lot more positive about who you are, what your abilities really are in this life. And part of the reason for that, well, there's actually several reasons for this, but one reason is that once we know who it is that we are, who it is that walks beside us and within us, we know that we have the power to face down anything in life. Meditation is something you don't have to be a religious person to do. You don't have to be a Christian. You don't have to be a Muslim or a Hindu or a Buddhist. We have people that are just atheists who meditate. But once you begin meditating for a certain length of time, and this varies from one person to another, you begin to understand you're not walking through this life alone. We are not really separated from one another. We're not separated from the spiritual world. And a lot of people that may be atheists that start practicing meditation because they think they need to breathe more deeply to clear their minds and to oxygenate their blood, and they're just meditating for a little bit of peace and serenity, which meditation can give you. They may eventually get to a point to where they begin to realize, I'm not cut off and separated from the rest of the world like I used to think. I'm not drifting all alone in the universe. There is a higher power beyond me, something that I don't fully understand. But no, I have seen people that will go from like atheist to agnostic to, there's got to be something out there. I'm not sure what to call it. I'm not confident calling it God, but there is something out there greater than myself that is helping to guide me. And I don't care what this power is, I'm going to let it happen. I'm going to let it guide me. And then some people may go from like atheist to agnostic to maybe quasi spiritual to just full blown, yes, I believe. They may not call it God, but they do believe in a force, a power beyond themselves that they can tap into that helps to guide them through their daily life and their day-to-day struggles. And so when people practice meditation, even starting out as just full-blown atheists, they do get to a certain spiritual level if they persist with it long enough and are open to it happening. Spirit doesn't force itself on us. We have to be open to things in order for things to begin happening for us. But yeah, if we have an open heart, if we have an open mind to where we can accept the possibility that there is a power out there greater than us that can come to our aid, then yeah, we can come to a point of understanding to where we can feel this power working in us and through us and with us. And we can begin to understand, okay, there is a power both outside of us and within us that gives me the ability to face the challenges that we all must face in life. And once we become aware that we carry a power within us that's greater than us and yet living within us, then we can start to develop a certain level of faith and confidence. Not faith in the religious sense, but definitely faith in the spiritual sense that, I can face down anything I have to because I know there's this power within. I can't put a name on it, not going to try to name it. I just know it's there, and I talk to it every morning in my morning meditation or my evening meditation, and I know it's there. I know it's guiding me. It hasn't let me down yet, and I have faith and confidence that this power, greater than myself, is going to take me the rest of the way through this earthly life and beyond. And so, yeah, you can grow faith in a spiritual sense through the practice of meditation. You can become open to the forces of nature, forces of other people, and yes, spiritual forces in your life through the practice of meditation. And once you begin to learn that these forces, they do exist, they are real, and you can tap into them, you can harness them, then you realize that, yeah, you've got a lot more going for you than most people really know, than most other people might care to even believe. And so, yeah, faith can grow, your self confidence can grow through meditation just because of that. Because what is self confidence? It's self faith, it's having faith in yourself as well as faith in other people, faith in the infinite. That's a great line out of the book Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. You know, grow faith, have faith, both faith in yourself and faith in the infinite. They're connected. So, yeah, meditation can help you become more self confident just because it helps you to open the doors more fully to the God of your understanding. And yeah, you can, once you learn to build more of a conscious connection between yourself and the God of your understanding, that can be a great self confidence booster. Another reason why meditation can help us grow our own level of self confidence is two principles. Actually, I think maybe three principles here stated in Napoleon Hill's self confidence formula. Yeah, actually, about, well, two. Let's just cover two. But two principles in Napoleon Hill's self confidence formula that, we can use, that we can grow with, and that we can access through meditation. The first here, Napoleon Hill, reading out of Think and Grow Rich, the chapter on faith under self confidence formula, the second article of the self confidence formula. Napoleon Hill writes, I realize the dominating thoughts of my mind will eventually reproduce themselves in outward physical action and gradually transform themselves into physical reality. You see, for Napoleon Hill, as for a lot of really good mystics, thoughts are things. Thoughts are the building blocks of our material existence and material 3D reality. Before anything exists in the 3D material world, it first exists as a thought, either a thought in your mind or a thought in the divine mind. And then once that thought is focused on strongly enough, harnessed, energized, then it comes into reality in our 3D physical existence. And Napoleon Hill states in that second principle of his self confidence formula, I realize that what I focus on in my thoughts is going to grow in my life. And so, with this in mind, I'm going to concentrate my thoughts for just 30 minutes a day on the task of thinking of the person that I intend to become, and therefore create that person in my mind and in my outer world. So, yeah, just by focusing on what you want to achieve, just by focusing mentally on becoming the person that you want to become, you've got the power to actualize that mental construct. And you have the power to bring that about. The problem that most people face is that when we think, when we use our mind is not being used as one of our greatest tools, one of our greatest assets. We use our mind as our greatest enemy, really, the greatest weapon to self sabotage. A lot of times, instead of focusing on positive affirmations, instead of focusing on positive thoughts and positive possibilities that we want to grow and manifest in our life, we ruminate on past misfortunes. We ruminate on having been victims of other people. We ruminate on miseries and misfortunes that we suffered in the past. And we'll just focus on that over and over and over again, just like a never ending loop. You'll see something like a rake hanging in the garden shed, and you'll remember, oh my God, my neighbor stole that rake from me several years ago. That guy was stealing a lot of other things. I had to go back there. I had to demand it back. And there was a shouting match, a screaming match. And before you realize it, you were in a good mood before you saw that rake, but just ruminating on that past event and bringing that past event back into your reality. Those feelings of anger, of rage, of betrayal, they come roaring right back up to the surface. And yeah, you're stuck there maybe for the rest of the day, ruminating on how your next door neighbor was such an a-hole. And how you just have a bad day for the rest of the day because you don't know how to turn off that mental loop that you got playing in your head. And through meditation, we realize that we can become a lot more mindful of things. We see something, it reminds us of something, and we become mindful that we've got that thought brewing up in our subconscious, coming to the surface in our conscious mind, and we can realize where that thought is coming from. And once we know where that thought is coming from, we realize that we have the power to turn that thing off. We don't have to be playing that loop over and over again in our heads. That sad, sad story of how, somebody victimized us so many years ago, and everybody is out to get us in the present day, and just be playing that loop over and over again. By practicing a little bit of mindfulness meditation, we can become aware of the negative thoughts as they arise. And then we can just say to them, hey, thanks for dropping by, but I'm done with you right now. I want to move forward. I want to move on with the rest of my life. So kindly just see yourself out the door. You don't have to be mad. You don't have to blame yourself and saying, boy, I am so stupid because I let all these old thoughts intrude in my present day reality. No, just thank them for dropping by and then say, you know what? You served your purpose. Now go out the door, see your way out the door. I don't need you anymore. I'm going to carry on in a more positive way with the rest of my day. Thank you very much. And just let them go. Dismiss those negative thoughts. Because, yeah, even the most positive person on the face of the earth, negative thoughts are going to intrude. Once you become aware of them, once you learn that you have the power to take those negative thoughts, dismiss them, and then replace them with something positive, then you realize that you have the power to program your own mind, not letting other people program your mind for you, not letting past events program your mind for you. You have the power to update your programming and set yourself on a more positive footing to lead a more positive life. There's a great saying about how elephant trainers will take a baby elephant, and that baby elephant is weak, but they'll tie a rope around that baby elephant's leg and drive a stake into the ground, and then tie the other end of the rope around that stake. And the baby elephant will try to pull on that rope. They'll try to pull on that stake. They won't be able to budge it, and they'll just learn that, I'm helpless against that stake. I'm helpless against that rope. But then a funny thing is that when the elephant grows to adult, a full-sized adult, and yeah, that rope is just a little piece of string by comparison to what it used to be when that elephant was just a baby, and that stake is just a toothpick. They could rip it out of the ground if they so only knew their own strength. But they remember that period from their life when they were a baby, about how they were powerless to pull that stake out of the ground. And they think, even as a full-sized adult elephant, I'm still powerless to pull that stake out of the ground. And if the elephant only knew the strength that it had within, it could rip that string, break that string like, just a piece of cord, and rip that stake out of the ground and just go wherever it wanted to. But because it had that one negative experience that taught it to become helpless, it carries that message forward into the rest of its life. What messages do you have that you carry, that you learned as a child, that may have served you well as a child, but what messages were instilled and programmed into you as a child that you need to get rid of as an adult? We all have the ability to reprogram our minds. Napoleon Hill tells us here how to do that. The third principle, I know through the principle of auto-suggestion, our self-talk, the way we think, the way we talk about ourselves. I know through the principle of auto-suggestion, any desire that I persistently hold in my mind will eventually seek expression through some practical means of attaining the object in back of it. Therefore, I will devote 10 minutes a day, not a colossal amount of time, just 10 minutes a day, to demanding of myself the development of self-confidence. See, if I believe that I'm capable of growing self-confidence, and I take 10 minutes a day to demand myself, you are going to become a self-confident person. You have self-confidence. You just need to express it. You hold that thought in your mind for just 10 minutes a day on a regular basis. According to Napoleon Hill, that is enough to become a more self-confident person. Now, what does that remind you of? Meditating for 10 minutes a day. Well, that's meditation. Focusing on one thing for 10 minutes a day, knowing that once you plant that thought in your own mind, that thought will eventually seek expression in your outer world. And this is how we can develop self-confidence, through the practice of meditation. A lot of people, they'll go through life talking to themselves, planting self-thoughts that say, I'm worthless. I am no good. I am a failure. I failed in this one business, and instead of learning from it, I just carried those mistakes with me, and I now believe that I am a total failure because I failed at that one thing many, many, many years ago. And that's the thought that they carry with them. I'm no good. I'm worthless. I'm a failure. Maybe some significant people in their lives reinforce that message over and over again. Using the practice of meditation, auto-suggestion, just cultivating positive thoughts in our minds, even if it's just 10 minutes a day, but doing it on a regular basis, we can grow to a certain level of mindfulness where we can realize, okay, I've got these thoughts in my head. And then we can begin to realize, you know what? These thoughts in my head that have been there for like 20 years, 50 years, 60 years, they've really been screwing with me for the last several decades, and I've been letting it happen. You know what? I needed to shut that down. Turn those thoughts off. Replace them with something positive. Start taking that negative self-talk, turning it into positive self-talk, using affirmations, just meditating and learning who you really are and who it is that walks with you, and learning what your real purpose in life really is. And once you know your purpose in life, and once you know you were put here for a reason, not just some random accident that just happened, my mom and dad got drunk one night, they did the nasty, and there I am, just by accident. A lot of people get that message, you're just a mistake. You're just an accident. And they carry that with them through the rest of their life. But once you know that you came into this world for a reason, you've got a duty, you've got a purpose, and you can harness the power that put you here, then you know you're equipped to face whatever it is you need to face in life. Meditation can give you the basis for knowing your real identity, for coming to realize your own self-worth, and coming to realize that none of us walk this path alone. A lot of us think that we're isolated. A lot of people think that they're separated. But in reality, no, there's a power that walks beside us. There's a power that walks within us. And if we're open to the practice of meditation, we can access that power. And even if we don't, even if we just use positive affirmations to grow our self-talk and to stop the negative self-talk and replace it with positive self-talk, even that alone can make a little bit of a difference in our life. But yeah, meditation can help us grow self-confidence on so many different levels. I've just covered 2 here. But I mean, yeah, if you're faithful in the practice of meditation, you can use it to grow as a human being in many different ways. Become a better person spiritually, become a better husband, a better wife, a better parent, a better friend, a better member of your church or your Sangha, or, whatever, a better member of any civic organization that you're a member of, a better person at work, a better home-based business person, a better entrepreneur. Meditation can help us in so many different ways. And I believe that once we're open to growing spiritually, it really opens the door to so many other things in life. It's not a question of, okay, I can either grow spiritually or I can grow materially. Which is it going to be? We can have it all. We can have it both. And once we learn that there is a connection between the spiritual world and our outer world, the material world, then yeah, we see the path forward. We can see how we can have it all. Grow spiritually, grow materially, grow in whatever way that we need to become the person that we were born to become. We're not just accidents. We have a mission. We have a purpose. In meditation, we can discover what that purpose is, and that can empower us to grow in many, many different ways. So, hey, Thanks for dropping by. I'm going to be talking about meditation more so. I think in next spiritual stream, Ralph's stream of consciousness, we're going to be talking about a little bit more about mindfulness meditation and how mindfulness meditation, it's breath meditation is a form of mindfulness, but you can really go beyond breath meditation and practice mindfulness in anything and everything that you do. So we'll be talking about that in the next spiritual stream. So till then, take care. Thanks for dropping by. And let me know in the comments down below what you think. How has meditation helped you grow as a more confident human being? Or what do you want to work on in your own self growth, whether you practice meditation or not? Let me know in the comments down below. So thanks for staying with me till the end here. Ralph signing out. God bless and take care, people. Bye bye.